Today it's all about RGB crazy. Why are we RGB crazy? Because Akasa sent us over loads of RGB fans, RGB Fusion for Gigabyte and Aurora Sync. It's all here, cable, whatever that is, RGB LED splitter cable thing, and then a Vegas card controller. If you want RGBs, you know where to go. Go to Akasa. Anyway, let me tell you a story about Akasa. So, in all my other previous builds, I've got computers where I've done some very custom, like, painting computers, like spray painting them up, and custom cables, and custom builds, water cooling, dual loops, and graphic card CPUs, and all that sort of stuff. Right, anyway, so Akasa was so nice to us, gave us LED lights that were basically like these. They're strips, magnetic, and that means that you can connect it to a case that is obviously metal and connect them up. It was awesome. So we had a few cables, and I started to grow with Akasa quite a lot. I've worked with them for years and years and years and years ago, since like back in 2012. But I just wanted to, like, lately in this year, I think, I started building all these computers and I needed something that was decent. So I asked them, can I have some strips so I can put them into these custom built computers? And they were like, how many strips you need? I said like 200, and they were like, hell no. And I was like, no, come on. They were like, and they still were no. Like, they said you're going to send me 200, and they sent me 4. So I started off with that. So a couple of white strips in this computer case started looking awesome. And I said, look, need some more, make it brighter. They were like, how many do you need? I said 10. And they were like, wow, you need 10. Okay. So they sent them over. Then they started doing RGB coloured ones, and I was like, and then all Asus came out with Aurora Sync, and I think that was the first one. So we started using their strips. Their strips were really, really, really good because it was true like RGB colours, and it synced up with anything that was RGB that was made by a different third-party company. So say that I was using Asus, I class it as a third-party company because I was using the strips. But the other way around, if I had an Asus motherboard that was RGB motherboard, then it would be a third-party, which would be Akasa. And then Gigabyte came out with their RGBW strips, and then we started to use that with the Gigabyte motherboard, as it has 5 pins rather than the 4 which comes with the Aurora Sync. But today it's all about RGB crazy. Now, if you've seen the computers, which it'll be showing up on the screen in a second, you'll notice that these are all by Akasa. I haven't used any other company like Cable Mod or anything like that. Cable Mod cables are awesome, but I haven't used any RGBs or NTXT or Corsair or anything like that. This is all Akasa for all these videos. But anyway, let's talk about them. First off, we've got the Vegas MB. So it's a magnetic LED. This is a 50cm version. This is awesome. You only need about 2 or 3 in a case, and a medium-sized case. Obviously, in a large case, you're going to probably need a bigger one. And if you're going to do things a little bit more special, probably need about 5 or 6 of them. But it's awesome. Always works. Never had any problems. It doesn't break or anything like that. So it doesn't. I just like them, and I've been using them, and they're really good. They come with Molex connectors as well, which are these are in here. As you can see, strips are not in there. Strips are in the computer, which you're going to see in a sec. But anyway, it comes with a Molex connector, and it comes with a 4-pin as well, which gives you an indication which way you plug it in and everything like that. And then it's got 2 prongs there, and then you basically plug this into the Molex straight from the power supply. But it only stays into one colour. So I'm not too sure about why that does that. But if you've got a compatible motherboard that's got the actual RGB connector controller built into the motherboard, you would actually see the colours happening, or you can train them to wherever you want them to be. But these are the RGB ones, and these are the Vegas magnetic LED strips. Then we've got the fans. These fans are awesome. They could be slightly a little bit brighter. In the dark, they obviously do look a bit about this bright anyway. It comes with a 4-pin LED strip, and then it's got a 3-pin fan connector. So it's not PWM, but they're DC. The fan does really work. I can't speak properly. The fan really does work the fan works really well because it does air cooling how it's meant to be. So it's not just being bought just simply for the RGBs. It does really work really well as well. Anyway, so these are the Vegas X7, and they're awesome. I like them. Then we've got the RGB fan splitter. So say you've only got 2 or maybe 1 splitter, well, not 1 splitter, 1 4-pin on the motherboard. You can use this and then connect in an additional 4 LEDs or 4 RGB fans, or 2 of these and 2 of them, or vice versa. However you want to mix them up, there's only 4 spaces, you can use that, and it controls it very well from the power supply. And yeah, this is a 4-pin RGB LED fan, RGB LED strip, so it's very straightforward. I do like this. I haven't seen if they do a version for the Gigabyte version, but this is for Aura Sync, so it would be for MSI and obviously Asus, and obviously Gigabyte have got their own version. Don't know what ASRock are doing, so not too sure about that. Then we've got the Gigabyte version, so this is RGB'd. So you've got red, green and blue, and then W for true white, so you can get the whole RGB spectrum and white as well through there. And this is magnetic, and this is a 50cm version. It's similar to what this is, other than this has got white and this doesn't. So it still works really well. It's really nice clean light. It's really bright and vivid, and I've used them for months and months and months and haven't seen the lights die down. They're really good quality LEDs in there. Then we've got the last but not least, static color cycle, breathing, power off, control, which is control your all these things right here. So if you don't have a motherboard that has this connector, you can buy this, and obviously I'll leave the links in the description down below so you can actually purchase this, because this is definitely worth it. So this goes in the PCI slot onto your motherboard, and then you can have up to 4, or we can have 4 RGB fans or 4 LED fans, or a mixture of both. And then you've got the connectors where you can sync them up and everything like that onto the motherboard if you want, or you can just have it and just put it in the PCI connector, PCI slot in your case, and then you can have it controlled from the back. And it's pretty awesome. I think I should actually take a quick look at the controller, because this is the only thing that I've got here that's not in the actual computer case. So this is what you'll get in the box, which would be some instructions, a PCI bracket, feels alright. Then a little cable as well, so this will plug into the PCI card, and then this will plug into one of your cables. It's still got the indication of which is the right way that you need to put it up. And this will be plugged into the PCI card as well via SATA connector, and this is like a little extender, or to change it around. Say that you've got a cable and it's like got just the holes, the female holes, you can put in a metal prongs at the start and make them into male, and it's got the male at the end as well. And then you've got the actual card itself, which is quite cool. I like this. It's a good idea anyway if you haven't got a compatible motherboard. And then you've got the prongs there, which is slightly bent. I don't know why that's bent like that. Let's bend it back into place. Right, so that's bent back into place. So you've got 4 there, so you can put in your fans or your LED strips. And then on the back, you've got a lovely button as well. So if my case was in there, it's all the right way the writing is as well. So it's got MB for motherboard, and then 1 for manual. So you got the motherboard you can connect this to, or if you haven't got a compatible motherboard, you can just connect it to that, so you can have everything all synced. But anyway, it's pretty good to give you a screw as well. And then obviously you've got your instructions of how to plug it all in, and it's all straightforward. It's all self-explanatory, but it's right there if you need it. Anyway, if you like this video and you thought it was helpful, give it a thumbs up. If not, give it a thumbs down, and I'll understand anyway. But dislike if you disliked it and that. But comment down below, and if you want to go and purchase this, it'll be in all the link in the description down below, because you need to go and buy the RGBs. You need to be an RGB fan. It does help. It does make your computer look nice. I know there's a lot of people that don't like RGBs, but you can switch off the whole RGB situation, and when people come around, bang, turn them on. It's up to you. But anyway, I said what I've got to say. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. I'm RGB out. Roger and out. Bye. See ya later.